Welcome to February. Hope you guys had an amazing January. I'm going to jump right in because I'm having so much fun. I'm on a roll right now, so let's go. Situation for February. Sorry. Yeah. This isn't the best card to pull. Heartbreak, sorrow, but there is creative opportunities from this heartbreak. So if it's painful now, it will pass, of course. Everything does, whether good or bad. And then once it passes, you're able to take a step back and realize that it was for the best, okay? So heartbreak, but it's an excellent opportunity to create. It's an excellent opportunity to find your positivity, to find, your creative powers, okay? Sometimes we need to lose something or to be heartbroken in order to heal and to move on. The strongest people are not those who had an easy life. The strongest people are the ones who went through some of this, right? For me, I pulled this card right before I had right around the time I had a miscarriage. And after the miscarriage, I was still so creative in that creative mode. So I started a business. I was able to birth a business after the loss of not birthing, a baby. So things like that, yeah, it might seem and might absolutely be incredibly painful and incredibly hard. But this reminds me of, last night I had this incredible meditation session, and the only thing that I could see was red on the horizon, but that darkness heals. My spirit guides said specifically darkness heals. So even though this might seem like a hard time, it's beneficial in the long run, okay? And just try and keep that in mind that it will absolutely pass, and good things can be created out of it 100%. So an obstacle and an aid. So how to kind of get over that heartbreak, and allow that heartbreak to help you. It's not going to be easy, but it's really just taking a step back. Use the next new moon, which is in 2 weeks after February 9th. Use that new moon to build yourself back up and to find the beauty back in life. Recognize that this heartbreak, like I said, it's going to pass, and you need that hard time behind you in order to feel more justified in this life, especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to one-on-one partnerships. Sagittarians are so optimistic. They're always seeing the color and the beauty and the light in life, but it's almost like when they're low, they don't even want to go out and explore anymore. They don't want to allow their adventurous side to come out, but recognize that life is an adventure. It's not always about going somewhere. You can explore and have an adventure in your bedroom, in your mind, in a book, in a really awesome movie, in a cool video game. Like, you can really explore your sense of self and find that color back in your life. But it's only when you take off the blinders. It's only when you actually, if anything, you want to put up these blinders. You want to put up the blinders of life and just stay focused on positivity and happiness. It might be easier said than done, but if you just take a seat and take a step back and give yourself some perspective, it'll look a lot clearer by March, okay? Subconsciously feeling very bound to these lower vibrational feelings, feeling like you kind of have to feel greed, envy, jealousy, greed, envy, jealousy, spite. You feel like subconsciously, if you don't feel that way because of this heartbreak, you're not human. And as a Sagittarius, I find the Sagittariuses in my life, they're so optimistic and outgoing that when they're not uplifted and they're not adventurous and they're not following their path, they just don't even see anybody. You just don't see them for however long. They kind of suffer in silence in a way. Recognize that even though subconsciously you're feeling very bound and very trapped to these lower vibrational feelings, once you give yourself some perspective and recognize that that's just your ego. These feelings in your subconscious mind, any lower vibration feelings, those aren't yours. That's your ego. That's your ego being damaged, saying, well, you have to feel this way because of this situation. No, you don't. It could just be, that's a situation. Yeah, that happened. Period. Yeah, I lost. Period. It doesn't have to be, and I feel bad about it, and and I want to get this, and I'm going to get revenge. It could just be, right? And Sagittariuses, you guys are forward thinkers. You guys are broad thinkers. You guys are able to see the big perspective as opposed to just the little minute details. So like I said, get a wider perspective. Take a step back and recognize that this heartbreak was meant to happen. It was meant to happen, like everything is, the good and the bad. So thinking about a male, thinking about he is a earth sign, so Capricorn, could also be an Aries though. I'm seeing a lot of Rams. Aries, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. It's this earth sign that you're really thinking a lot about. He's fought a lot to put himself in the position that he's at. He's completely decorated. He's definitely fought his hardest, and his main focus was on, you know, the coin, was on these goals that he's had in mind. I would definitely recognize that this guy he's also over 34. I'd also recognize that this guy is always on your mind. You're constantly thinking about this person, especially when it comes to this heartbreak and when it comes to feeling bound to these lower vibration energies. What is it about this male figure? It could even just be, you know, a frame of mind. What is it about this male figure or this person that you want to be that is breaking your heart? Because this person you can't stop thinking about them. Whether it's the person that you want to become, financially stable, financially sound, sitting down, built up, decorated, like I said, admirable, honorable, open-eyed, you know, someone who's able to close their eyes at the proper time and shield themselves from that pain, and somebody who's also open to feeling a little bit of pain, but doesn't put a lot of pain, doesn't put a lot of focus onto their pain. Is that what you're trying to accomplish? If that's the case, it's excellent. That's absolutely beautiful. But if it's coming from this place, this guy that you want to either impress or that you're thinking about or you want to become, this person here, it's not going to be beneficial because it's coming from a lower vibrational place, okay? So something that would have just immediately passed, victory when it comes to your options, you know, bone-breaking options, bone-breaking fighting, blood, sweat, tears, a lot of confusion, a lot of don't know where you're going, what's going on. It was all just an internal battle. You're feeling victorious, but it's still painful. Like, it's almost like this heartbreak was kind of what you decided. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like your pride was more important than maintaining the status quo. And that's why there was some heartbreak, and that's why there's a lot of resentment and lower vibration, because it was a competition. I'm feeling a lot of ego in this spread. Sages aren't really ones to be completely concerned with their ego. They're more open and forward thinking and culturally acceptive. And that's not something that an ego can really relate to. So if the ego has really been a huge presence in your life recently, all you have to do is acknowledge it. Just be like, that's not me, that's my ego. And you'll know, because your ego is very, very loud. And your ego will tell you things that aren't nice, and your ego will put you down, and your ego will tell you that you need to win or that you need to feel a certain way. Any thought that's telling you that you need to blah, 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 blah is not yours. Because if you're coming from a spirit spot, like from your higher self, there is no need. There's only peace, because you realize that you have everything and there's no need, there's no desire. That the ego is all about want. They get one thing, the ego gets something, an accomplishment, and then it's on to the next without acknowledging the situation at hand. So future card, definitely more of an intuitive, you know, standstill. Like I said, recognize when it's your ego and recognize when it's your intuition. That's going to be an action, though. That's going to actually require some growth. It's going to require some focus, and it's going to require some courage. Recognize that, also, if you see any black cats, recognize them as kind of like a spirit guide, as a symbol that you're on the right path. You see a black cat, okay? Egyptian is another keyword. If you're drawn to anything Egyptian, anything pyramid shaped, anything, something like that. Pyramid shape, I just learned. Oh my gosh. Shapes are incredible. I just learned last weekend that the pyramid shape brings in positive energy. So if you can even draw a pyramid somewhere in your home, a lot of the times I just draw shapes on my left hand. It's the receiving hand. It's completely directly linked to your heart chakra. That's why we wear our wedding rings on this hand. It's all about opening yourself up to receiving, okay? And you want to be receiving from this place of abundance. It's really going to empower you, okay, Sag? You right now are moving on from something that was hard in the past. It's almost like you have a responsibility to your family and friends to move on. So do it. Recognize that, yeah, the gray is lifted. When you do move on, it's going to be smooth sailing. Like I said, this too shall pass. And even though we can't see the next steps, we just have to trust that what's coming next is the best thing for us. The best analogy I can think of is when we're on a dark highway without any streetlights. All we can see is the head beams in front of us, but we still keep driving. We can't see anything further. We don't know, what's coming up next, but we still keep driving. We only light a little bit of the way, but we get to our destination eventually, do we not? And we don't have fear. We just get there. We just know eventually the light will be shown on the path and we'll eventually get to our destination. So a lot of the times it's just your frame of mind. It's just the thoughts that you're allowing to occupy your headspace. Family and friends, something from the past coming up within a relationship with your family and friends. It's going to be kind of like a whiplash situation, like whoa, like oh my god. But receive it with open arms, because I can't stress this enough. This too shall pass. So if something comes up in your family and friends, in your relationship with your family and friends, something from the past, something from your heritage, something from your roots, something from your ancestry, acknowledge it for what it is and accept it with open arms. It's really going to cleanse you. It's really going to take shed a skin for you, and it's really going to kind of let you see. It's going to be that light shown a little bit more, because we don't really know where we're going until we know where we came from. And I'm not saying to consistently look in the past, but if we can acknowledge that maybe some things in the past are keeping us back, like a lot of the times we can have residual guilt from a past life or from an ancestor that has just passed along. It's almost like a curse, but it's just an energy that gets latched on as we progress in life. So maybe something's going to come to the forefront as some sort of divine intervention, as some sort of purity from your ancestry, that's going to allow you to open your eyes and realize a little bit more about who you are and the things that you've accomplished so far, and you're able to kind of see more of the cracks of your personality. See what I'm saying? Hope and fear. So definitely a lot of love here. You want this relationship. You want this soulmate happiness. You want the responsibility of a home, of home, family. You want love that's a family and best friend. You want that soulmate twin flame connection, which is beautiful. It's coming. It's hidden right now. It's really love is just adjusting your vibration, just like money. It's already there, but if you're not receptive to receiving it, you're not going to. So how you feel about yourself is a direct relation to the type of people that you're bringing in. So maintain your positive focus. Tell yourself every day that you love yourself, and be okay being alone. I'm sure you've heard this advice before. Recognize that as Sagittarians, you guys are extremely independent. I heard that the moon in Sagittarius is the eternal bachelor. My brother-in-law has his moon in Sagittarius, and when he finally got into a relationship, he was like, oh my God, we thought you were going to be single for life. So recognize that we, as Sagittarians, we want to have that independence to kind of move and go on these adventures as we please, but we also still want that person. So recognize that you hope for that soulmate, but you also fear it. Once you recognize the fear of wanting that soulmate and wanting to share your life with someone, you can clear the fear. Like it's really as simple as that. Own it and then let it go. Last card, this is the outcome. So new responsibilities coming in, because January 2017, is a universal 1 year. So new responsibilities. Don't feel overburdened by them though, because these responsibilities are really keeping you on your toes. They're allowing your progression forward. They're allowing you to branch off into something else. So this new responsibility that comes, take it as a blessing. And maybe this new responsibility will get you out of this feeling of, bound to heartbreak. It'll allow you to kind of take a seat back and relax, because you're going to be so focused on this responsibility. It's going to completely change the way you view yourself, and that's going to lead to a completely enlightened, intuitive, and definitely abundant and relaxed state of mind, okay? So let go of the ego, start focusing more on your intuition, and recognize that your intuition, when you acknowledge it, it's going to tell you that this was for the best. This you must know. Even though your heart is broken and it's hurting, you know that it's for the best in the long run, because it wasn't a positive situation. It was way too bounding. It was way too restrictive. You had no growth. Someone had their claws in you, proverbially. So this is definitely a good thing, and you might not want to hear it, but keep revealing that to yourself. You might feel kind of stagnant. You might feel like it's a pain in the back, but if you have steady progress forward and you're emotionally expectant for a positive future, that is exactly what you're going to get. It might be a hard stretch. This new responsibility might completely be, a little bit of a pain in the back, and it might feel like you don't know what the next steps are, but maintain the focus that you are completely abundant and capable of completing and accomplishing the life that you want. I want to stop rambling now. I hope that you guys have an amazing February. I'm sending you guys love. I'm sending you light. I'm sending you happiness. I'm sending you whatever you wish to receive. So activate your spirit guides. Ask them for help during this time if you need it. There's no shame in asking for help. And if you want, reach out to me. I would love to give you some guidance as well. Astrology is an excellent way to figure out, what's going on in the stars, to figure out what's going on in our hearts. It's kind of like a human manual. I find the tarot cards are more like a soul manual, and astrology is more scientific. So reach out to family, friends, reach out to who you need to. Don't hibernate. Don't go hide, Sages. We need you guys, okay? Have an amazing month. I will see you in March. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the subscriptions and the shares. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love you guys so much. Have a great February, and I'll see you in March. Bye.